So here we have Fabric. We'll put this up here. Fabric. Fabric is Microsoft's unified data platform for all things data within an organization. If we're going to administrate it, we should try to understand it. Over here, we don't have this yet, which is really strange because SQL Server is one of the top relational databases on Earth. It's weird that this is the last thing that gets added. This is called SQL Database. So why is it called SQL Database and not SQL Server? It is to differentiate it from the real SQL Server, that thing you install on premise. This is SQL Database. This is for OLTP workloads. It means online transaction processing. This is for daily application activity. Heavy prod workloads. Workloads. All right. This is in preview, which means it's not ready yet. Will be soon. And it's the last to be added. Over here we have data warehouse. So what's the difference between a data warehouse and a database? Well, architecturally very little. Both have tables, right? The core object for all of these is the table over here. The difference is how it's used. This is for production, fast, small transactions. This is for analytics. It's for analysis. Oftentimes, data is offloaded from here to there. Why? Because we don't want people mucking in our daily production work. Because when people muck, shit happens, it goes down. It costs the company tons of money. Here we are. We've got the data warehouse. We've got the SQL database as a part. All right. These are the core data architectures everyone has in the organization. Over here, we have one lake. One lake. And this is for all things structured data. Now, in theory, like everything sits on top of one lake. Like this sits on top of it, but not really, all right? Theoretically, because it's easy to understand, it sits on top of it. One lake is basically for unstructured data, right? Again, so if you don't know, we got two types of data in the real world. We have struck and unstruck. So struck, think table. Easy way to do it, think table. Anything close to a tabular format is structured data. Anything away from that is unstructured data. PDF has structure. It is unstructured. Word document, Word, unstructured. All right, HTML file. All right, you get the point. HTML. So we have these three core structures within our Fabric ecosystem. Now, if you're astute, if you remember back to studying the course, or if maybe you're a Fabric administrator, you're like, well, wait a minute, dude, you're missing Lakehouse. Lakehouse. That is something you could add to your workspaces, right? Lakehouse. So why do we need a lakehouse? Well, it's a good question. I'm not exactly sure, but I can tell you it is supposed to sit here. This is where the lakehouse sits, between the data warehouse and unstructured data. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the use case would be for a lakehouse versus a data warehouse, because they're almost identical. Try to learn more. If you know the answer, please in the comment section, go ahead and let me know. Let's just go to the next slide. This is what Microsoft said. Well, you can tell this is ChatGPT. This is what they said. The data lake, right, one lake, is for raw data storage. Okay, again, PDF, HTML, Word docs, that kind of shit. Lakehouse is for structured analytics and compute. That's kind of weird. Structured analytics. Okay, well, so is a data warehouse. All right. On top of the data, on top of that data, that bridges lake houses into warehouses. All right, so, but I am not sure when I would choose a lake house over a data warehouse. However, this entire video is to get us to begin thinking about managing Fabric. And I don't mean just the data engineering part, right, the day-to-day, but kind of the high-level architectural reasons it was created this way. What types of data are in an organization? Why do we need to get it to a structured state? Well, because every tool and everything we use to visualize our data or to create any models within machine learning requires structured tabular data, right? That's why we need to get it to a structured state. Anyway, so we have one lake, we have data warehouses, and soon we have the SQL database. Any questions, let me know. Yes, if you're thinking, I wonder what he's chosen. Has he chosen Fabric over Foundry to teach? Fabric over Foundry, double F. Yes, I have at this point. I think it's the right thing to do. The data engineering has it's basically unscathed. It's the one role that, if you look at the trends, that isn't trending down from all the AI hype. So it just makes sense to teach. And I've looked around, I don't see a lot of people teaching it that really know what they're doing. I see some kids teaching it that are reading from documents, but I don't see people with any real world insight. I don't see people with, and if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day and look for my school. I will be taking it live probably within the next 3 weeks. I'll be on there almost every day. Thank you and have a great day.